environmental issues are some of the biggest changes we face as a society currently. Recently, CO2 concentrations have hit an all-time high. 1 million species have been labeled at risk of extinction, and youth climate marches have been happening globally. Finding different ways in which we can communicate on climate change in an effective way can be challenging. However, some are using creative outlets to speak out and bring change.
And so I see art as one of the languages I speak through, and it's the kind of language that can convey thoughts or feelings or can motivate action better than just words or say written works. That's one way to do it, but where I see doing it is a little bit more subverted, where someone can look at a piece of art and I don't have to tell them what to think verbally. I can present information, and that information can subconsciously sway the way that they see the world around them.
Environmental artists or eco-artists are trying to envision something that doesn't quite exist yet, or they're trying to show us what does exist in a way that is new and kind of defamiliarizes what we're already in the midst of. People who write poetry, literature, even creative nonfiction, all of that I would kind of lump together into this category of environmental art or eco-art. And all of it in one way or another attempts to get us to think about what we're in the midst of right now and to make us realize that we can't step outside of that and understand it or make sense of it. We have to kind of do it from within.
I made this piece called Carbon Sequestration, and it actually just started to think like, what if as a artistic practice I just bought large quantities of coal and then I just keep it and just promise never to light it on fire? Because that's what everybody has to do. Humanity right now needs to kind of agree, like we have to just not burn coal. And I feel like also it's just like with creative mediums, you know, like a lot of the public is not scientifically literate, like, right? We're kind of very aware of that now, because otherwise I feel like we'd all be working to fix things, you know? So yeah, so with art or with not art, like if I was just making television shows or, you know, whatever I choose to do that's creative, I can just reach people who otherwise would be totally, in the dark.
So because there used to be factories on the south and west side and communities grew around those factories, the factories never really went away. They sort of just were either buried or partially recuperated. The factory was there, and since the factory couldn't get rid of the waste that was there, they just buried it. And so because this is the case, other companies and industrial organizations, they see these areas as places they can dump because toxic waste was already dumped on these sites. They see it as an excuse to be able to dump more. They don't really pay mind to the people that are living in these areas. They just sort of want to place their waste there. And also the people in these neighborhoods don't really know that there's a soil cap of as thin as 12 inches below the land that they're standing. So I try to bring this information to stop further companies from coming in and to alert the people that live there that this is under where they're living.
Everybody included, we're in this together, and we need to stop being like species centric and stop being like personally selfish about a lot of the things we do.